Salam ለእናንተ ይሁን. May peace be with you. Today I asked my beautiful parents to join me. We recorded a beautiful love story, the greatest love story that I know, yesterday in Amharic. And we got a lot of requests for the English version, so we're doing the English version today. All of this started out when a university student asked me an important question, a potentially life-changing question. And I felt a huge responsibility. I felt the weight of answering that question as thoughtfully as possible. And so I had this idea of what better way to begin responding than with showing an example of personally the greatest love story that I know of. And it all started when we touched on a big story for my mom, which is that dad told her that he would take a bullet for her very early on in their relationship. And I got to thinking, with this kind of decision, I mean, that's truly a life-changing decision that my dad made. So we had a little bit of a heart to heart. we have a tendency to have heart to hearts very early in the morning, sometimes 3 to 4 in the mornings. And I asked Dad, what were you feeling leading up to that moment? Having heard Mom's story, which is so full of challenges, how did you feel? And what led to your decision? What pushed you? What compelled you to make such a significant decision? And so I'm going to pose that question to you again, Dad. Sir, yes. Take it away.
What pushed me to that decision was the culture I grew up, which once you give your word, you have to be accountable to that word. You really must be very careful to promise somebody. So that is inherent in my heart. And my family, my parents are the same way too. So when I met Almaz, the story goes back to 1979 Ethiopian calendar in the 1987 Gregorian calendar. It's a difference of 8 years. I was in the July and August of Ethiopian calendar, which was 1979. And I went to Asmara, the capital of Eritrea, to see my cousin, who was older than me back then. And he was married to Eritrean girl. No, he was about to get married. He was like a year away from get married. And I was so moved by the culture and the hospitality of the people in Asmara when they welcome you as a guest, how they treat you, how they honor you, how they feed you, how women are respecting men. So that total culture of Asmara moved me, and I decided to marry from the tribe of Tigray, no matter what. Either Asmara or Tigray, that was my decision. So sure enough, I came back to where I was, which was Hararge region, Wabarra, Auraja, which was part of Hararge, in the town of Dedar, where I was assigned to teach the high school, Dedar High School. Then the first day I got into my town, I relaxed it. And the second day, I was back to work. And then after work, before work, I saw her. And then when I saw her, I just figured out her name. Her name was Almaz, and last name is Berhe. Berhe is from Tigray region. So I knew she was from Tigray region. I did not know whether she was from Asmara or Tigray, but I decided to go after this girl. One side, one decision, moved out, I was sold out. No checking background, no checking of any tradition, any culture, anything. I decided. It was just personal decision. Then after that decision, I asked her if she's willing to talk to me or if she's willing to just listen to me. And she was not willing to talk or to do anything. She was not moving. I kept on pushing harder, pursued her. Eventually, after over a month, she gave me an answer.
A year.
No, that was a little
Dad
joke.
says 1 month, Mom says 1 year.
No, it was not a year. A year was a final decision. It's not. So the word that came out of her mouth was after a month. So that word was like, I can't marry you or I can't be your girlfriend. I was like so irritated. And I was like, I'm a young man, handsome, purposeful guy, willing to do anything. And how was I rejected? That was my question because, and she said, is there any problem that, I said, is there any problem that forced you not to marry me or not to love me? And this time she said, yes. I wanted to know that details. And she started to tell me her story. Her story started in Mekelle, the capital of Tigray, when she was 14, when she was very child. And that was when a military official of the regime of back then proposed to her marriage word to a 14 years old girl. And he was twice her age, old enough to be her dad. And that was a shocking to her. Plus, she was just a girl. She was just like she's not even high school yet. So he was harder on that proposal. He kept on pushing. He became a family of her mom, her grandma, friends, relatives, all of them. So all of a sudden, he was getting involved into the life of their family, and eventually forced her after 2 years, forced her to even to be engaged. And that is when she was so irritated. Every member of the family was agreed to make her marry him, but only one person, whose name was Mr. Afawork Taka. Yeah, that's what he told me. So he was the only person resisted. The rest would agree with him because he vowed to kill every family members if he's not willing to marry him, including herself. That was the most irritating. Even he passed that and got into her high school after she got into high school and talked to her teachers, the principal, to hold her certificates, her results, and anything, including the 12th grade leaving certificate, which is, yeah, all school documents were taken by him. So she has no chance to escape. Eventually, she decided to get out of that city. It's very hard to get out of there. So there were so many steps to follow, to go. This time she decided to die. Absolutely, her decision was, if possible, to escape, if not to die. Then she was able to escape from Tigray, from Mekelle to Addis, through the help of so many very careful and secret people around her. She left, she came to Addis, and then from Addis Ababa, again, he had so many people who were relatives to him who can spy on her, so she can be taken or she can be killed. Now she was so frustrated again, no sleeping. Imagine from 14 years to the age of 18, no rest, no life, no peace, fear always. She was even forced to shave her hair. Imagine that. And to put on dark socks, trousers, and then to hide everywhere, to run away. That was the only proposal that family members were giving at that time. Eventually, her older sister, Dr. Tsigawenberhe, was a physician back then who was in Addis after coming from Cuba. So she was assigned to go to Dedar, where I was living. Then Almas came to live there, and that's where I met her. When she told me the whole story, I decided to think about it. I said, can we talk again? She said, yes. I got home and I was so sad. I was so sad. I decided Almas should live and I should die. How did I get into this decision? In the area where I grew up in Wallaga region, I was in the countryside. I've so many times seen the cheetahs running after deers and kill them. Once they get access to them, they can get them, they can kill them, they eat them.
Mm.
If cheetahs are aware they can run away with highest speed, they can escape. And I have seen also tigers and leopards eating these animals. And I was so sad since I was a child. I felt as if Almas was like that that deer.
Oh.
So in my heart, I said, this deer should not die. She should live, and I should die for her.
Oh.
That was the real decision.
Mm.
I did not tell her. That was my decision. And I said, Almas, if this man comes and see you, I will take the first bullet. If I die, at least you can escape. Or if I get a chance to resist him, because I was young, I'm fearless, I don't care who was there. I was very bold, I was very straight in my decision. I said, I can challenge him, I can fight with him, I can beat him up, I can bring him down. Or while I'm fighting with him, while I'm struggling with him, she can escape. Then he can be arrested. Then the story will be ending in the jail, so she will be free. Even if I'm killed, she can live. So that was my calculation. I said, Almas, I will take the first bullet for you, no matter what. That was the story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dad.
You're welcome.
I literally would not be here
Without
telling
that
this
decision.
story without
so
that
much.
decision.
Yeah.
That's
Then when I told Almas my decision,
I become
very calm,
yeah.
still, and there was a decision we made.
So secure
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because at that moment I don't have anybody, you know.
Mhm.
It's like I was very stressed out all the time because if people coming on the side, oh, is that him? Is it gonna kill me? Now it's like on that stress time when I was thinking that all men are like him, like that guy, um, I'm not gonna get married. I'm not gonna, you know, for a future. I don't have life. After this, I'm not gonna have life. Every man, I was like thinking, because I'm so innocent and young, I was thinking that everybody is like that. So at that moment when I meet my husband, I was like, I was gonna run away from him. He was so nice to me. The way he talked to me is so nice way. So I was like talking to him, but not giving my heart.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, you know. No. I was like, no, I'm not. Because I get tortured already. So that finally when he said, please talk to me. Why? Why you get rid of me like this? Why you rejecting me? I feel like, you know, let me talk to him. You know what? I can't have life with you. I cannot love you. When I told him, he was down. Why? He asked me why. And then I have to say my story. When he said that the bullet, it comes for you, I will take it first, and then maybe the second one will take it after I die. I was like, oh, I feel like secured. This kind of man, is he in this world? I feel secure and then peaceful and then happy. I can feel it on my heart. When I speak to Amharic yesterday, I was so emotional. Not anymore right now.
I am about to cry.
Now I'm laughing. So yeah. So I decided to be with him because the security he gave me. Still crying. Crying a lot. No.
Tears are healing.
Yeah, tears are healing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
Now
is-
it's like still here. We have two beautiful children,
Yeah.
and then I have beautiful grandkids,
Yeah.
and
Beautiful
here
family.
it is.
Yeah.
Until now, we are still married. He
Yeah.
is taking care of me. Till
Yeah.
now, these days, I go through a lot, and he's still taking care of me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Always.
Aw, he's taking
So
care of
as long
me.
as I live, we've got over, since we met each other, it's like over 38 years now. Still, as long as I live on this earth, no one will be able to touch her. Even today, my children, my family is so protected. Reason, I believe in the marriage. Marriage is the first institution ever created. Not politics, not region, not countries, not anything, not religious institutions. The first institution ever created was marriage, Adam and Eve. When God said man should not live by himself, but he has to have a wife, and he created Eve. That's where the family started. Family is the backbone of the nation. So God assigned Adam to love his wife. Loving is not simply regular stuff. A marriage is a center of the creation of the society and the nation and the country and the world. That's where the whole humanity begins. And I knew that from the beginning, from my parents, from the society I grew up, from the culture. I knew that is it. So for me, marriage was something very important that I must die for. Understanding, right? And after I grew up and started to read the Bible, I figured out that a man as a leader of the house has 5 big responsibilities. 5. According to the Bible, the first responsibility is to be the head of the house, leadership. And the Bible says the head of the woman is a man, and the head of a man is Christ, and the head of Christ is God. That is in Ephesians chapter 5. So that moved me very well. Second one is a man is a provider of this house. He should provide housing, food, what to drink, what to put on as a clothes, pay bills, everything. The third one, and the very important one, is the protection of his family. He must protect his family from any danger. And the fourth responsibility he carries is teaching his family, no matter what, in any situation. Teaching is very important. The fifth responsibility is guiding. Guiding is very different from teaching and from leading, even though it looks like leading. Guidance is when you take any responsibility in any situation. It can be in death, in sickness, in miserable life, in economic crisis, in any situation, when you get your family out of that danger and put them into your destination. Wife is an eternally given partner of life, not a seasonal. You have to love her with passion and compassion. Passion is when you love somebody for a moment of time, out of emotions, out of feeling, out of love, out of little care. But once you are exhausted out of that area of love, you give away and you run away. That is not love. It is like temporary love. Compassionate love is when you sacrifice yourself, your money, your time, your life to secure that family. Women should not be divorced. Women should not be neglected, should not be rejected. Women should not be ever tortured. She must live in a peace, in the protection, in the love of her husband and his family. Because women are like a flower. A flower should bud out and bring good flower and seeds only when she is watered, protected. It's just like you plant a tree. You have to what? You have to nurture, right? You have to nurture, you have to do fertilizer, water, you have to do fence around, you have to protect every time. You have to see if any like disease, like any mosquito or something that can hurt that plant is over there, and you have to protect it with medicines, with clearing up, with grooming, was not grooming, when trimming. Yeah, by doing everything that you need to cultivate and keep that plant. A woman should be protected much better than that. Women love their husbands when their husbands give attention to their life. So women are very sensitive in their nature. Men are so reasoning in their mind. So we have a reasoning mind husband and a sensitive wife. A sensitive wife always says, what? Listen to me, my husband. A reasoning mind says what? I provided food, I provided house, I bought everything, I paid the bills of the house. You shut up and follow what I said. That is not leadership. That is controlling. We should get out of that. So when I learned how to live with Almas, the first thing I learned was how to guide her, how to lead her. I made so many mistakes. From those mistakes, I learned a lot. My wife is so innocent, so loving, so caring, and she's not. She has I have never ever seen selfish character in her.
Yeah.
Never. She is very loving. She doesn't even demand anything. She doesn't demand clothes or shoes or food or beauty. I always do it out of my heart. Even today, after all these years, Almaz has never for one single day, ever concentrated on herself. She is not. Even today. I don't know how she was created. God only knows. That is what more fiercely made me to love her and die for her. Even today. That's the whole story. It's not perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
No one is
Sometimes
perfect. Yeah. Sometimes she is.
I get mad
When she's mad at me, I know why she's mad.
taken care of.
I know that I feel that sensation. Instead of yelling at her, I will wait and be patient and board her on my board, on my bus, and take her with me. That is the best way of handling relationship. Yeah. This is my short story.
You know, it's amazing to me. This story is so unique because even in science, I was in college myself. I was I think a second-year college student when I took a cross-cultural psychology class. And they talked about the difference between passion and compassion and how passion is
Temporary.
it fades.
It fades like
Yeah,
like a flower.
that's right.
Yes.
But compassion is permanent, it's eternal. And what's extremely rare is to have both simultaneously.
Same time, yes.
Dad felt both the passionate type of love and the compassionate type of love simultaneously. And it's rare because typically within marriages, at least this is what the research shows, this is data nerd over here, it develops over time. Yeah, there's a psychologist, I can't remember his name right now, but I'll provide in the YouTube description box. He talks about how compatibility is the fruit of love. But a lot of folks today, including myself, I've made this mistake in thinking that I have to find somebody who's compatible with me. And in fact, it's the compassion for one another. Yes. That's right. That bears the fruit of love, which is that compatibility piece. Yes. And so whether it's cross-cultural psychology or relationships, there are psychologists who study all of these things. So that's really fascinating to me that you had that benefit.
There is one thing I really want to focus on your point.
Yeah.
Want to put just like a little point. We are different in our social, cultural upbringing, in our religious backgrounds, in our educational levels, and social lives. No matter what society we come from, or religion we come from, or any culture we come from, we are humans.
Yes.
As a human being, even if you are anything, even if you are a heartless person, or even if I'm a heartless person, there is something that we need to agree on. This woman that is coming to your life, sitting next to you, and loving you is a human being like you or like me.
Mm.
Consider that equality first. We are humans. The second one, if she left her parents, brothers, sisters, and relatives and ran to you to be part of your life, how do you hurt her?
Mm.
That is the most important thing to think like a
Yeah.
human being.
Yeah.
Thirdly, she came to sleep with you, to feed you, to protect you, to give you children, and to cool you down psychologically in any tension of life. And she's paying every sacrifice through pregnancy, through sickness, through raising children, through cooking, through working, and she's everything done for you. And how do you get ever decide to push her or to hurt her? There is no way. I can't do that.
Mm.
Naturally, with my simple mind as a human being, from the beginning of creation, human beings have a conscious mind, what psychology or the Bible calls it the law of conscience. We know the difference between right and wrong. Never ever use wrong status or feeling or decision on your wife, on your girlfriend. Never. If you do not marry her, never ever force her or brainwash her to sleep with her. No. That is selfish. That is selfishness. That's very key stuff. And imagine someone sacrificing her life through everything should be taken care of, nurtured, cared for, or done. No matter what she does. If she's angry, she has a reason. If she's frustrated, she has a reason. If she's so sad, she has a reason. If she's crying, she has a reason. If she is boasting, she has a reason. If she's hating, she has a reason. Go down to the problem of her cause, whatever caused her to feel that way. Identify that as a head of the house, as the leader of the house. Solve the problem like a man. Don't run away like a cheetah. No, that is a killer. Love is always a sacrifice. If it is not a sacrifice, it's a fake. Love always has what? Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Time sacrifice, financial sacrifice, even life sacrifice. Out of this is not love. That is why Christ died on the cross for the church by giving his life, by being patient for the sin, the weakness, and the disobedience of humanity, every humanity on the face of the earth, to bring the church to existence to live with God forever. Even the religion of Islam, in the Quran, I've read the part that says Jesus Christ come like a prophet of God to judge this earth. That means we all are in the judgment which he will deliver someday. Whether we believe or not, whether we are believers or non-believers or atheists or none, it doesn't matter. That common denomination factor is always working in us. Just love, protect, guide, teach, and also love forever your wife, your children, and your children, grandchildren to come. God bless you.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
Dad. Thank you so much, Mom.
You're welcome. Thank you
You're welcome.
for
Yes, you are
inviting
welcome.
us for this
Thank you for
beautiful.
inviting us.
Of course.
We'll be back again if
Yeah.
God will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The idea is to collect as much wisdom as we can, to gain as much information as we can, and to make the most informed decision possible, be it with health or with love. And in health, in public health, there is no worse outcome than death. That's the outcome we can't recover from. Whether it's in medicine or in public health, which is my training and my profession, that's the metric that we really care about. And the fact, I mean, this story kind of began with a fear of death and a decision to absorb that fear of death and to say, no, you will have life. You know, this deer must not die. That's a really powerful statement, right? You made a choice, you communicated, And out of the combination of that choice and that communication, what I hear is that that compatibility came about. It was the fruit of your choice and the and the communication. It has not been easy. There have been so many ups and downs.
There were about 20 years of it. Actually, I would say 15, not 20, 15 years. The remaining 5 to 10 years was until we went back. So that period was not easy. Even after a good decision we made and we got married, still she was looking around saying, hey, don't ever worry. That confirmation was always there with her. And she became very strong, very secure, very calm, and she started to live life again. Yeah, please, this is my message for every human being, for every male. Please, no matter what your wife does, she can make mistakes, she can do so many wrong stuff. Just tolerate her, be patient with her, love her, teach her, guide her, and just be patient with her. No matter what, she will be back into your arms no matter what. That is it. God bless you again.
To the amazing, brilliant student who asked me this question, I've taught thousands of students because I've taught big lecture courses and I've taught at many different institutions in the last 10, maybe more than 10 years, starting to lose track. It's the first time I've ever received a question like this. Thank you for helping me reflect, and I'm going to pass on one more piece of insight for now. When I was in your shoes, a student like you, one person went out of her way, an elderly woman, went out of her way to tell me, out of the blue, the most important decision you'll ever make in your life is whom you'll marry. So I'll leave it there. We will collect more wisdom to present to you over time.
Let's get one thing on this one. One point. What that lady said is very profound. Very profound. A person you're married to is the most toughest decision you have to make. Because that man will take either into life with him forever until death, or he might drop her at the beginning of the marriage, or at the middle age of the marriage, or at the end of the marriage. No matter what it is, a beginning or the middle or the end of the time of the marriage, he divorced or he dropped her. This man is a loser. And he dropped her. The woman should not be dropped. With a conscious mind, with a real understanding, with the depths of the heart of Jesus, or any human being, not only Christian religion, even a good Muslim, or a good atheist, or a good Buddhist, or a good Hinduist, or a good any person. This is a principle of life. A woman is the center of life. She is the one that continues to keep the society together, even though a man is in her life. So we need to keep our women very protected, very loved, very secured in her life, because her responsibilities are so much. Thank you.
Marriages have no exit at all.
No exit in marriage. By the way, most people say marriage is hard, it is difficult. No. You made it hard. You can make it hard. You can make it horrible, but marriage is not hard or more horrible. Marriage is always good. Very nice. As long as you communicate, you respect each other, you love each other, you die for each other, it is perfect.
You put in the effort.
Yes, effort is very important. Thank you.
That you told me one day, the person who told you that, like a fly, a marriage is like a fly. Fly gets in the car.
Fly gets in the car.
She tried to get out. And then the fly outside, she tried to get in. And then, you told me that, right?
There's a metaphor.
That is a very wrong metaphor.
To be, you know?
No. That is a really, that means that is a selfish way of talking about marriage. No. That should not be a real narrative ever. Thank you. I think we are out of time.
We thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Yes, for reflecting with us. This is Alchemizing Stories, where we turn pain into purpose. We ask if any of this helped you or you believe that it might help someone else, interact with it, share it in a way that you feel comfortable, and we will see you next time. Salamat Trivza. May your peace be abundant.